Who are they?
Who are we?
What do they represent?
What do we represent?
What do they stand for?
What do we stand for?
Why do they come here?
Why are we here?
These are questions that perhaps we're not supposed to know the answer to. These are the sorts of questions that fill the minds of madmen or dreamers. Are they real? There has to be a point where we step back and we look at everything and we ask the question, who's the greater mystery? Us or them? Who are they? What do they represent? What do they stand for? G'day everyone, welcome to episode 7 of Yowie Finding Australia's Sasquatch. In this series, I venture out into known hotspot locations in the search for the Yowie. My motivations might change, the questions I ask may change, but one thing that will remain the same is that you and I are both here because we both suspect or know or just wonder that these beings are out there. Many of us will never see one. Many of us will never even believe that they exist. But the purpose of this series, the evolving and dynamic mission statement of this series, is to seek understanding. I've had many a night sitting at home whilst I edit these videos together where the question of my motive has come into play. Where the question of why I'm out here comes into play. Is it curiosity? Is it mystery? Is it adventure? Or is it wanting to promote a YouTube channel? I've thought deep and I've thought hard about this question. I really have. And I think I've settled on an answer to that. And as I previously mentioned, seeking understanding. The average man and woman who sits at home, does their thing, and never cast their mind out to these kinds of mysteries. To them, it's case closed. Yowies, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, they don't exist. It's imagination. But there's those that know of them, but yet still don't understand them. And it's to those people that this series is slowly but surely wanting to illuminate. Why do so many of us have this instinctual longing to get close to these things? And then on the flip side, why do so many of us have an instinctual, absolute, and sometimes irrational fear of these things? There's more at play here than a simple bedtime story to keep kids out of the bush. As this series evolves and expands and rides its own roller coaster, my motivation is absolutely turning. I want to bring understanding. There's many ways that can come. And to be honest with you, I don't know what those ways are, because I can't predict the future. I'm living in this moment right now, surrounded by wild Australian bush, getting bitten by mosquitoes, sweating up a storm, but also doing what I love to do. So come with me on this episode where our search for understanding continues and grows. Who knows what I'll find over the next 24 hours out here? Who knows what I'll hear, what I'll experience? Your guess is mine. But hang out and together we're going to find out. This is episode 7 of Yowie Finding Australia's Sasquatch. You know, as I've walked around this environment, I don't think there's going to be much room for structures. I said that last time and then I found some. Wind's picking up. I don't believe I'm going to find any structures here. As a matter of fact, if I'm to be brutally honest, as it stands right now, this site isn't overly promising. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's not overly promising. Now, I was mentioning Believe Paranormal and UFO Radio. The reason I mention that is because if you go there right now, Season 9, Episode 3, this idiot has been interviewed on there. About exactly this, about my Yowie research. Apart from my phone giving pretty poor sound quality, I feel the episode came off pretty good. I was very nervous listening to it. I couldn't remember exactly what we had spoken about, and I was just waiting for the moment where I said some stupid comment and made myself look like a fool. But you know what? It's only the normal level of making myself look like a fool. There was no additional levels. I was quite happy with how the interview turned out. So go and check it out. Believe Paranormal and UFO Radio. My episode is finally out. Season 9, Episode 3. It's called Yowie Encounters with Craig Zammit. That's me. I'm Craig Zammit. The Yowie Encounters, they're out here. Have a listen. Tell me what you think in the comments. Apart from that, we're at that phase of the trip right now where I need to just settle. I need to get some food in my belly and just kind of, relax a little bit and get myself at one with the environment. I don't like coming in all guns blazing and expecting to have miracles happen. I like to acclimatize to the energy of the place. Actually, that is a perfect way to say it. I need time to acclimatize to the energy here. Go away, massive flies. Massive flies, massive mozzies. Whoa, the fire better be smoky tonight, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. So we continue on. I don't even know what that means. Okay, so I was just standing here, just literally staring out at the scenery, looking at the tall trees, literally just looking at the tall trees, right? Doing nothing. And then a thought came to me. Footprints. People often say they find a couple of footprints, 1, 2, 3, even, 4, but very rarely do you see a whole long trail of footprints. It does happen, but it's rare. So I don't know why that came into my head. It just came into my head, right? And then I thought, what if that's because, now, this gets a bit weird. All right, so, if you're not a fan of the channeled stuff, you probably won't like this. But anyway, it's up to you what you do with it. It's just a thought I had. Literally a random thought that just popped into my head right now. What if we see single footprints or just 2 or 3 footprints? Because maybe if we assume that they are here doing energy work, balancing the earth energy, which I know that's the statement that's out there. That's what'll turn people off if they're not into that kind of thing. But there's an idea that that's what they do. So what if in order to do that, they actually have to make connection in a physical form with the earth? That's the idea. What if they can't do the energy work from their non-physical state? Maybe they have to transfer or move into a different form, be that the physical form, and then they can physically touch the earth make that literal energetic connection and then use that along with their trees and whatever else they're using in their natural environment to build up some kind of energetic mass or something that they do something with. Maybe they get it through meditative states. Maybe they just stand dead still. Maybe that's why people always see them standing dead still. Maybe they meditate standing or something like that. Like, these are just random ideas coming to my head. You know, they might enter this reality. Then they might, okay, so they might enter this reality and then find their position, stand there, do their energy work, and then either disappear off or walk around for whatever reason. It's not such a silly idea. It's not, I mean, it's in the same ballpark of silly as everything else that's around the possibilities of a Yowie, you know? But that's all going to change on my next trip. On our next trip out, there's something a little bit different to this series. And it may not actually fall into this series. It depends how it turns out. I have a particular vision, sound like a wank. I have a particular vision on how I want this series to be. And the next time I head out may not fit that vision, but regardless, it's going to be a ripper of an episode of Yowie-ness on this channel. Some of you may recall the podcast that I've promoted from time to time on this channel, Believe Paranormal and UFO Radio. And I'll have something about that for you guys soon as well. Later on in this episode, I'll tell you something about that. On that podcast, a mate of mine named Sarah was interviewed. Look at the size of that mosquito. Bloody hell. Because she had an encounter of a very real variety in Strickland State Forest. She saw a Yowie crouch down in the tall grass, just basically dead-eyeing her, just staring her straight out. The story had a whole bunch of other things going for her, but she has had legitimate encounters. She's also had other things happening, which I'll leave her to tell, that make her particular story quite enthralling. And we've decided that she's going to take me out with a couple of mates to the location of her sighting, the very spot. We're going to hang out there during the day. She's going to tell her story. We're going to have a laugh. Then they're going to leave me. I'm going to camp out there alone in an absolute, verified, undeniable location where Yowies are known to tread. Now, other videos on YouTube, which I'm not going to link or promote, have visited this site, and the people in that video have freaked out, more or less, pretty badly. The energy, the feel is supposedly quite intimidating down there. Am I worried? No, because my belief of what these things are, what they represent, why they're here, who they are, etc., etc., I don't believe I have any major concerns. I believe it's fear of the unknown that makes people feel the way they feel. But in saying that, I don't know jack. You know, I don't know anything. Realistically, none of us do. So I'm going to be spending the night alone in a confirmed Yowie hotspot. So that could be really interesting. So I look forward to that, and I hope you guys look forward to it as well. It should be a bit of a change of pace and something really, really interesting. You know, I'm just standing at my camp, right? That's my camp here. Just over here. There's all these. I'll turn the camera onto the sticks. There's a lot of laid down sticks. You've got from here going up to the middle, and you've got this whole section through here that's been laid down. You can jump over to literally behind my camp, literally. You'll see that the sticks here have done the same thing. So it's meeting up at this ridge up here. So that it's kind of making a double depression. Like the butt, like the top of a butt. Or the top of a love heart. Or a letter M. How's my descriptions, eh? But I initially didn't think much of it until I looked closer. And all these sticks, although they're from the same tree, or at least the same species, they're not in the ground, they're sticks on the floor. Look. Stick on the floor, stick on the floor. Well, obviously all these are. Stick on the floor, stick on the floor. Like all the way up. All the way up through here. So it's a very interesting area. I think you'll find this is a huge log, a huge trunk of a tree, sorry, not log. It's split off into one of the big ones, one of the real big ones. And that's what all this has gone on top of. But that guy's fallen this way, down the hill. So he would have been some kind of root damage or wind down the hill or just fell over because it was tired. I don't bloody know. It's interesting. There's a similar thing going on over there. There's X's in there. There's X's down there. But I'm going to be honest, they're the rubbish style X's. I don't believe they're anything significant personally. There's enough trees here fallen for there to be X's to create themselves naturally. And I believe that's what's happening there. Alright, so I mean, look, that's interesting, right? Note it down. You never know. So I've gone walking around the area and I've got to be honest, it's a hard slog. Down this hill, some nice areas that I've already shown you, but then it goes just down to the valley and straight back up. Too steep to actually climb down in any simple manner. So for no reason I'm not climbing down there. There's nothing to see down there. Up this way, a bit more of the same. A bit hard to get through. If you look out to the left, which is where I'll be walking out tomorrow morning, I'll be exploring out this way tomorrow morning. This side is a lot more chaotic with a lot more down trees and a lot more mess, whereas this side's a lot cleaner, a lot easier to walk through. So I'm saving that walk for tomorrow morning, see if we can find something interesting. Otherwise, it's been quite a relaxed afternoon. The tarp's gone up a treat, like an absolute best tarp job I've ever done. So now we're just waiting for the night to fall. So while I just sit here, I'll let you know tonight I'm going to be doing a meditation, as I usually do. I've brought along the clap sticks, and I'll be playing. Those that know the band Hai Lung, I've talked about them on this channel before. Fantastic band, Heilung. If you've never checked them out, go check them out. You won't know what you're hearing, but if you let it settle on you, it's very good. It's very spiritual music. The name itself means healing. So you might wonder where I got the idea for spiritual music. It's twofold. Some previous experiences and some ideas that I've kept under my hat about Heilung in particular. And generally, you know, natural or spiritual or mystical music as opposed to, you know, heavy metal or things like that. Indigenous, shamanic, all that kind of music. And I've also been reading a book called The Sasquatch's Message to Humanity. And that's written by Sambo Truebrother. And it's a channeling book. He, you know, over the course of, I think it was 3 weeks, he isolated himself from the planet and spent the whole time, you know, basically not quite in a meditative state, but, you know, in a state where he could receive these messages. And it's about 50 chapters. And it's the same leap of faith that you take when you're listening to, you know, my Yowie communication videos. So if you're interested in those videos, you'll be interested in this book for sure. Sasquatch, the Sasquatch's Message to Humanity. It's free online. And within this book, one of the lines that resonated with me was that the Yowies, well, they enjoy spiritual music. They're attracted to it. So I'm going to be using that tonight. So there's a few things I'll be doing tonight. It's really nice and relaxing out here. I just wish I could take my shoes off and just sit here in a pair of shorts, you know. That'd be really nice, but safety first. Jesus. I inhaled so much smoke. Perfect night. Well, I'm in the tent now, and it's quite quiet, if I'm honest with you. Not much has happened. This spot seems doesn't seem too active, if I'm honest. But you know, I've said that before, and then gone and found amazing structures. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to go for a walk and see what I can find. As for tonight, if I hear anything or see anything, I'll pick you up. Until then, I'll see you in the morning. Alright guys, well despite my best intentions, I think I'm going to have to wrap this, I think I'm going to have to head home. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do any exploring this morning. Bucketing down. I don't really feel like getting absolutely saturated. If I'm to be completely honest, I don't know about this spot. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this trip's going to go down as one of those where pick the wrong spot, wrong time. It's been a nice trip, but as far as evidence goes, there's been very, very little on this one. I guess these are the trips that you dread, the ones where absolutely nothing happens. So I'll be hoping I don't get another repeat of something like this again, that's for sure. I've now got a wet and slippery walk uphill for quite a while to get out of here in the rain. I'm going to have to waterproof my bag pretty wisely because there's a lot of electricals and a lot of water, and I've got to need to make sure everything's protected. At the end of the day, you can't run a series like the one I'm doing and not expect that every now and then you strike out. I guess this is the strikeout. It's disappointing, but it is what it is, eh? So I'm going to pack up. I'll pack everything up and I'll take the tarp down last, and I'll put the tarp on the outside of the bag instead of some other bits and pieces. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't give up hope. The truth is out there. See you later, guys.